strong.
Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Master Gaming and today we are looking at the magicka necromancer PvP build as of the stonethorn update. Now, I was going to put off making this video, however, magicka necromancers aren't my specialty. So if you do have any recommendations for this build or any advice that you want to give me, please do drop a comment and leave a like and subscribe so you can see more of my videos and go with me on this journey as I try and make this channel successful, as I'm really passionate about Elder Scrolls and it's really nice to be able to share my builds with the community. So let's get right into it. So in this build we are a high elf with 64 points into magicka. Now as you can see we actually have 35,000 maximum magicka, 28,000 maximum health, however we are in Imperial City right now. We have 11k maximum stamina. We also have 2.5k spell damage. We have 23,000 spell resistance, 2,703 critical resistance, and 24,800 physical resistance. Our magic recovery is a modest 1,000. Our health recovery is a very high 2,425 on our back bar, and our stam recovery is as low as ever on 514. Now let's get into the gear. On this build we are actually running a Lessian. Now a Lessian is not something that I've run before in one of my videos. I'm sure you've seen it before. We're running a sword and board and destro staff setup for this build, the classic PvP mashup. On the sword and board we are running the Lessian set on the sword and shield. The axe we are running defending with a life drain enchantment. The Lessian set on the 2-piece increases your armor by 1.5k. The same goes for the 3-piece. The 4-piece increases your maximum health by 1,200, and the 5-piece increases your health recovery by 2% of your sum total physical and spell resistance. Now my physical and spell resistance are very high, so if you add them together, divide that by 100, times that by 2, you will get your 2%. Now currently my 2% is 953 health recovery. Now that is a high number to be adding on to my already quite high stat. This means that our health will come back in allotments of 2,400 every 2 seconds, and it will mean that we can out heal pretty much anything just because of our natural regen. On the shield we are running a Divines with maximum health enchant. And on our destro staff we're actually running the Master's Perfected Inferno staff. The Absorb Magicka enchantment is actually meant to be a shock glyph mixed with the charged status of the charged trait. The charged allows us to apply the status effects at an increased rate of 220%, meaning that we can apply the minor vulnerability to our target, making them take 8% more damage from you for the duration of that status effect. The Perfected is brilliant, it adds an extra 103 spell damage, however it's not necessary. You can just run the normal Master's Destruction staff, it just means you're missing out on 103 spell damage. On the main 2nd piece you're getting a reduced cost of Destructive Touch, and it increases your spell damage by 600 for 4 seconds after activating it. Now for our monster set, we're actually running 2 pieces of Light Troll King, both in Divines running maximum magicka. What Troll King does on the 1 piece is increases your healing done, allowing you to just heal yourself a little bit more, and when you heal yourself or an ally, if they are still below 50% health, their health recovery is increased by 925 for 10 seconds. This applies to yourself as well, meaning that when you heal yourself, if you're still below 50% health, you will get an extra 925 health recovery. Added on to our current 2.4k, mixed with a potion, you could be hitting 3.6 to 4k health recovery just from this. It's insane, the heals are crazy. I was going to get some gameplay footage of me in Cyrodiil, however I didn't record myself getting into a 1v2. I did lose after the 3rd time of fighting these guys. I didn't think to record it. this build really does work. Now on the chest piece, we are running New Moon's Acolyte. We're actually running 5 pieces of New Moon's Acolyte, all on the body and all in heavy. We're running 5 heavy, 2 light. We're running a tri-stack glyph on the chest piece, on infused. We are running Divines with a maximum magicka New Moon's Acolyte girdle. We're running Divines New Moon's Acolyte gauntlets with a maximum magicka enchant. We're running New Moon's Acolyte greaves with a tri-stack glyph and infused. And finally, New Moon's Acolyte sabatons with divines and a maximum magicka enchant. Now onto jewellery. We're running a Lessian necklace with maximum magicka and spell damage. A Lessian ring with maximum magicka and health recovery. And finally, another Lessian ring to finish off the 5 piece with maximum magicka and spell damage. Now if we move on to our skills, I can explain how this all works. On the sword and board bar, we are running Beckoning Armour. Now what Beckoning Armour does is it actually increases your physical and spell resistance by 5.2k for 20 seconds. 20 seconds is a long time, especially in a PvP fight. However, the reason I'm running Beckoning Armour is so that you can pull your ranged enemies towards you every 3 seconds, meaning all of the snipe stackers and the mag sorks, they'll be all right in your face, allowing you to hit them with a nice and nasty blast bones. Next up we have Deaden Pain. Now Deaden Pain costs nothing to cast, it has a radius of 12 meters, and what it does is it absorbs all of the dead bodies around you and heals you per corpse for 1275 for 2 seconds. While you have the healing effect, you gain major protection, reducing the damage you take by 30%. This means that you're ridiculously tanky, all the while just healing, absorbing your dead bodies, which all of your skills pretty much do generate. Your Beckoning Armour generates a corpse on death, and so does your Blast Bones, and so does your Spirit Guardian. Now Spirit Guardian is your burst heal. Every 2 seconds you get 4k health, lasting for 16 seconds, adding up to 8 ticks. While active, 10% of the damage you take is transferred to the spirit instead, meaning in the sense you're taking 10% less damage. This also creates a corpse on death. Now finally, second from last, we're actually running Shielded Assault. Now Shielded Assault is actually just a flex spot. I purely chose this ability because I like the extra damage it does. I like the damage shield, and I like the range of the stun. It's quite a nice stun that you can have, so it means that you can just knock them off balance and stun them, and then switch to your assault class. Finally, we have Resistant Flesh. Now, Resistant Flesh is a very strong heal, healing people for 9.7k. However, it applies Minor Defile to yourself for 4 seconds, reducing your healing received and health recovery by 15%. You also grant the target spell and physical resistance equal to half the amount healed for 3 seconds. And our ultimate, we don't actually use this, it's just there. We've got the Ravenous Goliath, which heals us for 30k, increases our max health by 30k, and has a nice AoE damage that heals you while active. Now on our ultimate for our main assault bar, we're running Glacial Colossus. Thus Colossus hits for 3 times and hits for 10k per smash. It's very strong, it stuns all the enemies in the final smash, and it increases the damage taken on the enemies by 30% for 8 seconds. Now next up we have Mystic Siphon. Now Mystic Siphon also costs nothing. For 15k damage over 12 seconds, it's very strong, it does damage between you and the corpse, and I also run this because it increases your damage done by 3% as well as giving you magicka over 12 seconds. Next up we have Elemental Drain. Now Elemental Drain sends the elements to sap on an enemy's defences and afflict them with Major Breach for 23 seconds, reducing their spell resistance by 5.2k. I run this because it actually applies Minor Magicka Steal to the enemy for 23 seconds, causing you and your allies to restore 300 magicka every second when damaging them. Now next up we have Flame Reach. Now Flame Reach is quite an important one. This is what triggers our Master's Destruction stuff. What this does is it deals a bit of damage, adds the damage over time, and while it also triggers the destruction stuff, it also deals quite a bit of damage on that dot. Now next up we have the Stalking Blast Bones. Now the Blast Bones take 3 seconds to activate, and when it gets close to the target it hits them for 13k. This ability just does more damage when it gets close to the enemy. If it runs after them for a long time, it does even more damage. And finally, for our main spammable, we are running Ricochet Skull. Now Ricochet Skull is quite a nice spammable, deals a lot of damage, and every third cast of the ability deals 20% more damage, and will bounce to up to 2 nearby enemies. Now on to the champion points. On the tower, we are running 50 points into Warlord. We have 75 points in Arcanist, 60 points into Healthy, 50 points into Tenacity, and 35 points into Tumbling. On the Apprentice, we are running 10 points into Blessed, 60 points into Elfborn, 60 points into Elemental Expert, and 60 points into Spell Erosion. We're also sporting 60 points into Master at Arms and 20 points into Thaumaturge. On the red section, the Steed, we are running 40 points in Ironclad and 60 in Resistant, 55 points into Hardy, 55 into Elemental Defender, and 30 into Thick-Skinned. We're also running 30 points into Heavy Armour Focus, purely because if we're wearing Heavy Armour, we may as well utilise that extra physical resistance. Now, for our Mundus Stone, we are running the Mage for the extra maximum magicka of 3000. And for our food, I'm not too sure why it's not active, but for our food, we are running the Artaeum Pickled Fish Bowl for the extra 5k maximum magicka and maximum health. You could also run the Clockwork Citrus Fillet, as it increases your health and max mag as well as your mag and health recovery. Now that is it for the video, guys. I'm just going to leave my stats up there for you to see. I do appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me. I'm nearly at 900 views on my most popular video, and we hit 8.3k minutes watched. I do appreciate all the positive feedback and the support you guys have been giving me. Please be sure to drop a like and comment and subscribe so you can keep up to date with all my videos. I'll be posting every week, so please do be sure to hit that subscribe button and click on the bell so you know when I do post. And again, that's all for the video, guys. Thank you very much. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.